Hey guys, it's Greg. Today I want to show you Space Kraken, dungeon crawler that is a book. I mean, that's a game, but in the form of a book. We call that kind of games in Polish paragraph games. So the games where when the game is a book, but it's made with those paragraphs that you read them and go to another one and go to the other one. So Space Kraken is something like this, but that paragraph part is only one of the mechanics that Space Kraken offers. Space Kraken is something more. We have exploration, we have quests, and yeah. So I want to show you this game. What I want to say firstly is that what I have is a demo version. So we don't have a lot of content in this. The more will be implemented in the final version of the game. Alright, so check out this innovative approach to the game. Alright, so that what you can see, that's Space Kraken. It's a science fiction dungeon crawler, and that's a game book, or at least that's how Google Translator translates that kind of games. Because in Polish we name them paragraph games, so games made with paragraphs. This one is a little bit different because Space Kraken is not only with paragraphs, there's much more. So let me show you what we can find in this book. First of all, that's demo, so we have only like few elements. That's not final version of the game, so there will be for sure much more elements and pages in this game. So that's Space Kraken. Now I'm not sure if those arts are final or if the design is final, I don't know. I can only show you more or less what we can expect from the Space Kraken. So let's check out. Let's open the book and let's find out what we can find inside. So first of all, there's an intro. And the setting of this game is that's future, and Earth is super polluted with toxic waste and so on. It's very dilapidated, I don't know, damaged. And mankind created that Kraken, that's some kind of being that's supposed to eat, let's say, underwater weapons, including nuclear torpedoes and so on, all those toxic wastes that are on the planet. And that Kraken started to consuming those things, and of course it mutated, started to grow. Other nations thought that's some kind of bioweapon, so wars started on Earth and so on, and finally Kraken evolved so much that it could leave the Earth and go to the space. And as the Earth was so much so destroyed that mankind also moved from Earth to the space. So more or less that's the story in this game. Now let's check out what we can find in the book. So first of all, here is place where you can choose your difficulty level. We have few of them, from early settlers to Fury Gang. Then we have set up the lines, because the game is every gameplay is placed in some kind of storyline. In this demo we have 4 storylines. They are shown over here, and each of those storylines is separated on different branches, let's say. So each of those lines can be played from different place, from different starting place. We have 4 of them. There will be more of them, of course. And in every of those lines we have those numbers and letters, like 1 CD, 1 FF, 1 SA, and so on. And what we are doing with those things This is the heart of that element of the Space Kraken that is responsible for generating events and giving you that narrative perspective and story. So here is OGM line tracker, and we have place for 5 lines. So in the final version there will be at least 5 lines that you can choose and write them over here. And what are you doing? What are you going to do during the game? So, for example, let's say I choose line 1 with 1 CD starting point. And when there's a phase in a game where you are going to follow that storyline, you need to start from this specific place, 1 CD. So over here we have those 4 tables, and we need to go to the table number 1 because our coordinates is 1 CD. We're going to number 1, then we need to find C and we need to find D, and in here we have information that we should go to the exclamation point AG. And in those tables we have very different informations that we have exclamation points, we have pluses, we have 3 exclamation points, and all those symbols mean something, and we can check what all those things mean. Over here it's OGM commands, and we can find explanation what those symbols do, and so we have examples, we have commands that are executed with those symbols. So in this situation we have exclamation point AG, and exclamation point is an event. So when we have an event, we are going to the sheets with events. We have few of them in the demo, there will be much more, and we are going to AG. So we go AG here. And we need to read it, and that's how the story, the plot is designed in here. So what we can find in AG. You've just entered the first system the Kraken passed. Already the first scout ship is ship in your way looks like a little Kraken and directly sends a radio signal before you can destroy it. It seems you finally found the first trace of the Kraken. Choose A. Progress. B. Wait until some time goes by before entering the system carefully. And you need to make a choice, write those things over here, and then go with each of the lines that you started. Because you need to progress each of the lines. So that was my line A. Then I need to go to the lane B, which is lane 2. Sorry, which is 1XA, and again we are going to 1XA, XA, and we need to check it. What is it? 1XA. So we need then to go to 1UA, and so on and so on. That's how you will track your story and your following events on your lines, storylines. Now, a second thing I want to show you over here is that Starmap location. It's this table over here. Those 3 first are available from the beginning. Those are you need to purchase upgrade of your starship to have those unlocks, and those are like memory, like hard drives where you can store coordinates to different locations that you will discover during your progress, during your exploration of the space. So you can track those, you can put those markings over here, and then you can go back to the places that you already visited because you know where they are in space. So this is OGM system, that's the narrative part of the game. Here we have those events that tell us the story, and what do we can find later on? Those are the OGM commands that I already told you, and then location generator. So we are using, because all what you can find here, 2 dices, D6 and 1 D12, and pencil, and eraser. I don't have it. Those are all elements that you need to have during the game. And location generator is used when you want to create that random location that you will put over here. So we have those few tables, and for each table you just need to roll a die and generate randomly a location that you can conquer, visit, explore, and so on. So for example, you can find, first of all, you determine the type, so that can be space station, you can be on surface, that can be dungeon, mining station, you can be in space, it can be core planet. Then you need to determine if there is an atmosphere outside and inside. There is a teleportation range, so how far you can teleport using your teleporter on your ship. There are map numbers, so in this situation you need to roll 2 d6s to choose to determine which map you will use. So in this example, it's for example 3 and 2. So it would be N. And finally we have some special effects. So for example, this location can be one way, so it's impossible for you to go back, or it will self-destruct after you visit it. And in final table, you need to determine what kind of race is living on this specific planet or space or location that you're visiting. So we have Kraken, we have Grey, we have Insectoids, Lost, and Beasts. And 6 is Kraken if core planet as destination, otherwise reroll. So extra rule if you would roll a d6. So that's the way how you will generate location, and later on I will show you how those location looks like and how you can explore them during a specific turn of the game. Next sheet is combat quick sheet, and on this part over here, it's a lot of text, but you can find in here all the necessary information to go through combat. It's very detailed, so you need to read rules once, and then you will find everything in here. And the cool part is that those information that are crucial for you are on those bigger sheets that you can unfold them, and they can be always over here, and you can play, decide you can choose what you will have in inner part of the book. So for example, when you have combat, now I want to show you the few pages. It's not a few, it's quite a lot of pages. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think it's 13 pages with different type of monsters that you can conquer. And all those monsters, those monsters are on those cutouts. And why it's designed like this? Because during the combat, you will also generate your enemies in some way randomly, and that allows you to have different combat every turn. Because for example, you generated that you will fight this tentacle Kraken level 1, but then you can flip that page, and over here you have Cyber Kraken, and it's also Kraken, but this time it's level 4. Again, you can roll another page, and you can find you will fight Behemoth Kraken level 5th. And that's the way to generate your opponents during every fight. And thanks to those cutouts, it's very easy to track. It's very easy to find with a specific monster that you will fight in the combat. And what kind of enemies you will find? So of course we have those Krakens in here. There's a lot of tentacles and so on. Then we have Greys. Greys are like soldiers, some kind, like aliens. They look a little bit like stormtroopers from Star Wars or something like this. So we have Greys, more Greys, and the highest level of the Greys, I think those are Alpha. It's a mech, I think, or something like this. Then we have insectoids, so typical insectoids like wasps and disgusting other things, and other insectoids. Yes, so now next one, enemies. It's a Lost. So we have some kind of woman, and in here it's a boar with a gun on a back. I guess it's a board. Here's some kind of embryo and some soldiers. So those are the lost, and finally beasts. And the beasts are medusas, some kind of bird. But all you need to remember that all those are aliens, so I'm just saying it's a medusa and bird, but it's not. It looks like medusa and bird bird. So those are beasts that you can fight. Next thing is enemy skills and hero skills. So, for example, you're fighting with somebody, let's say those two Krakens, and you can fight. So here you have quick sheet what you should do in specific phase of the battle. Here you have enemies that you will write on them and track the HP and so on. In here you can open the enemy skills and your hero skills, so you have all necessary things and explanations of every keyword inside. And what is cool, that on the left side there are enemies and that's quick sheet, and on the right side you will have your crew. So, for example, those four is your crew. And here is hero skills and your crew, enemy skills and the enemies. So it looks very, very cool. I think the idea was to make it as user-friendly as it could be, and it is very user-friendly. So those are enemies and skills. Next part is, we have a lot of them. There are achievements that you can achieve and they will unlock some things during the game. Later on there are weapons that you can of course obtain, and the rules. There's a lot of rules. I think that's 20 pages and it's only text. It's text. So it's a lot of rules for that type of the game, and I think that shows that that game is not for everybody. You must be, I think, seasoned player to understand it and to enjoy this this game, this paragraph game or rule. I don't know how it is in English, so I will say paragraph game. Next thing is map legend, with also explanation of every symbol that you will find on maps. And here are the maps. So if you will generate space station and you will write it on those Starmap location. So here are space stations. Here are there is on surface, there's dungeon, there's mining station, there's in space, there's core planet. There's a lot of those locations. I think there will be much more in final version of the game. And when you're exploring them, you're just moving on those squares, and you can track it with your pencil. And all those symbols like X's, L1, H, and whatever is written over here is explained in map legend. So there's a lot of learn and to memorize, because checking all the time what means what can be quite frustrating. So you must be remembered that there's a lot of memorizing in this game. Next thing is of course quests that you can fulfill during the game. Another part, space combat sheets, because a part of typical combat on the ground, you can also find space combat that's much bigger than typical combat, because there's check out it. So on one page you have an explanation of this. Here is that space combat sheet with your HP and enemies and shields and so on, and extra rules over here. Also, that's a lot. I want to say a few times that's a lot, and you need to remember that. The next part are your crew members. There's 8 of them in this demo, and you can create them by yourself, or you can use those pre-created characters that are written over here. You just need to copy all those numbers to them, those cutouts over here, and you can use them. So there's a part for people who like to create something from the scratch, or the people who are lazy and like me and want to use something that is already created. And finally, last page in this demo, that's your spaceship. On the spaceship, you have also very important things, because here is where you will write your credits. There's a place where you will put initiative for your heroes, and also all upgrades, teleport, hyper nav, memory that allows you to have more Starmap slots available, and so on, armor and that's it. That's the game. It's like I said, it's a paragraph game, but with completely different approach, offering you much more. Not only paragraphs with texts. You have parts. You have element of this game that mechanic is responsible for story. There are two types of combats. There are quests. There's exploration. So it's an amazing game if you like dungeon crawlers, that you like exploring. And it's like this. It's only the one book. So if you don't need those plastic elements, you don't need tokens, you don't need boards. If you enjoy the game only with the book, I think that's a title that should be on your radar. And you should be a rather seasoned player to go through all of this, because I think that's a lot for someone who is new in the board games world. So that's it. I know that they should be or already are on Kickstarter, so check out their Kickstarter page, and if you like them, just follow their campaign and check out how it will unfold. So thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.